Welcome to the Kansas 4-H Project Report Forms tutorial for the Marais District. I'm Carla Hightower, District 4-H Youth Development Agent. In this video, I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions for completing the Kansas 4-H Project Report Forms, as well as discuss why record-keeping skills are important for youth. At the end, I will give you information about online project report forms using Z Suites, and briefly go over what you need to include with your project report form to be considered for a project bin in the Marais District. I hope these forms make record keeping easier for you. However, I do not believe that record keeping can be done only by the 4-H'er. It is important that parents, grandparents, and other volunteers help 4-H'ers develop their record keeping skills, especially the younger members. I'm not saying do it for them, but help guide them through the process. My goal is that 75% of the Marais District 4-H members complete a Kansas 4-H project report form for one of your projects. You can do more projects if you would like, but I encourage members to pick 1 or 2 projects to focus on. Please help me reach my goal by turning in a project report form for your favorite project. Record keeping and project reporting are valuable skills taught to Kansas 4-H members. Members are encouraged to keep a permanent record of all 4-H and non-4-H experiences, and are encouraged to summarize their project experiences on the Kansas 4-H project report form. The purpose of 4-H records and reports are for the 4-H'ers to learn how to set goals, how to make plans for action, and how to decide how well you did or evaluate. 4-H'ers also learn the skills of record keeping and organization to use now and in the future. 4-H'ers learn to communicate, prioritize, summarize your project mastery and experiences. 4-H'ers learn to practice responsibility by completing tasks and meeting a deadline. 4-H members evaluate information and prioritize that information. And record keeping allows 4-H members to tell how they've grown, what they have learned, where they came up short, and to do it all within outlined parameters. And last but not least is competition. Record keeping provides opportunity for competition at the county, regional, and state level. It is important to keep records of project learning, activities, trainings, clinics, leadership roles, exhibitions and contests, service activities, project experiences, expenses and income, and any other information that you would like to keep. How you do this is up to you, but here are some ideas. Using the calendar method. This is keeping a calendar in a handy location and write down anything you do. Example, attend club meetings, give project talks, do chores, etc. You can use an app, spreadsheet, Word document. Using an app, spreadsheet, Word document to record anything you do. This can be a Google Docs folder, the 4-H Livestock record keeping app, Word or Excel files. The index box method. This is where you use a 3x5-inch box, index cards, and dividers to write down your record keeping items. Label each of the dividers as one section in the report form. Then each time you do something, write it down on an index card and file that card in the section marked by the divider. You can also use binders, files, or notebooks. Grab a binder, file, folder, or a notebook and organize each activity by type or by date. The permanent record. You can use the Kansas 4-H permanent record to record your activities and experiences as well throughout the year. Or you can take one of the above methods and transfer the information to the permanent record at the end of the year. It is important that you keep this information, as you will use this information to fill out the Kansas 4-H project report forms, as well as scholarships and applications later in your 4-H career. There are 2 different project report forms for each age division. The general one is for the non-animal projects like foods and nutrition, clothing, and visual arts. The animal project form is for horse, rabbit, poultry, beef, sheep, swine, goats, and the dairy projects. It includes an animal inventory and financial information specifically for animal projects. If you are in the dog or pets project, the general project report form is what you need to fill out. There is a limited number of items that you can put into these forms, so if you have more than is allowed, you will have to prioritize your items to include those that you deem most important. There are also 3 age divisions of project report forms. One for members who are 7 to 9 years old, one for members who are 10 to 13, and one for 14 to 18-year-old members. You have the option of filling out paper forms, the form fillable PDFs, or you can use Z Suites online to fill out an online version. Successful 4-H projects begin with written goals that provide a plan for the year. Goals should be designed to provide learning within the project, develop technical skills, or provide leadership and citizenship to others. As the new 4-H year begins in October, you should be developing and writing your project goals for the year. A goal is deciding what you want to do and learn in a 4-H project. Your goal should have 3 parts that will allow you to measure and check your progress. The 3 parts of a good goal include action, how are you going to do something, result, what are you going to do, be specific, and a timeline, when are you going to do it. The Setting 4-H Project Goals publication can be used to help you set these goals. You can find a link to this guide in the video description. Make sure your goals pass the control test. Ask yourself if you have control over all parts of what happens. If you can answer yes, then your goal is ready to go into the project report form. For example, I want to win champion with my cookies at county fair does not pass the control test. You do not have control over river placings. Instead, concentrate your goals on learning, skills, leadership, or community service. After you have measurable, attainable goals set for the project, you can enter them in Section 1 of the project report form. This should be done in October or November of the 4-H year. You should have at least 2 to 3 goals for each project. If you have more goals than will fit in the forms, you will need to decide which are your most important and write those in your project report form. In Section 2 of the project report form, members are asked to record any and all forms of presentations and communications related to their 4-H project. Examples include project talks, demonstrations, public speaking, newspaper articles, blog entries, social media, videos, etc. If a given presentation was judged, the 4-H members should record the rating received in the results column. If not judged, then leave the results column blank. Do not feel that you must fill every row in these sections. If you have enough presentations and communications to fill them, that is great. However, do not be discouraged if you do not have enough items to fill every line. Section 3 of the Kansas 4-H project report form is where you report what you have learned and done within your 4-H project this year. Your experiences should be age appropriate and detailed enough to evaluate your progress. List all the new and fun things you have done and learned that relate to your 4-H project. Include activities such as project meetings, workshops, clinics, contests, tours, field trips, computer learning programs, etc. These learning activities may have been completed in a project setting or may be the result of something you did on your own. In the level column, indicate what level the learning took place. L is for local and would be like club, school, community, home. C and D is county or district. R is for regional. M is for multi-county or district. S is for state. M is for multi-state, such as if you attended an event or an activity in Missouri. N is for national. And I is for international. The level explanation can be found in the guide to the Kansas 4-H project recognition, which is linked in the description below. In Section 4, Project Exhibits, you can list any project-related exhibits, entries, and displays. This may include 4-H events or non-4-H events such as school or community showcases. Some examples are entering at the state fair, your county fair, or maybe you did a class project and did something at your school for a teacher day, PTO, any of those things. That can all go in this project exhibits and showcases section. In the next section of the 4-H project report form, record your leadership experiences within this project. Be as specific as possible. Leadership is teaching another person or a group skills or information. Leadership also includes organizing or coordinating an activity, event, or meeting. Include elected, appointed, and volunteer leadership within your project. Do not include leadership that has occurred as part of performing a community service activity. Providing primary leadership to a community service effort should be reported in the next section. Just like with all the other items, if you can fill all the lines on your report, that is great. But if you cannot, that is okay too. Do not get discouraged. It is fine. Just the main thing is to put down all your leadership activities or prioritize your leadership activities for the year. The next section of the project report form is where you record your citizenship experiences within the project. Be as specific as possible. Citizenship means helping out in your community or serving others without compensation. List civic engagement, community service, or service learning projects. Some examples are baked and delivered cookies to a nursing home for Valentine's Day, bought 2 rabbits to the preschool for a presentation on rabbits or a petting zoo, started a container garden for nursing home courtyard, 3 tomatoes and 2 zucchinis. All 4-H projects have expenses, so it is important to fill out Section 7 with your project-related finances, both income and expenses. The focus is on accuracy and being thorough, not on profit or loss. The general report has just a basic financial section. It includes the date, a description of the income or expense, a column for where you list the amount in the income or expense column, and then you total up the income and you total up your expenses, and show your profit or loss by subtracting your expenses from your income. It is okay to have a loss. It's okay if you don't have any income. Those are all fine. The more important thing is that you kept track and you realize the cost of some of our 4-H projects. On the Animal Kansas 4-H project report form, Section 7 is broken down into several tables to show your animal inventory, animal performance record, rate of gain, and your project expenses, including feed, animal health, bedding, transportation, supplies, and many other expenses. You also have a table to show any income you have for your animal project, including meat, milk, eggs, offspring, etc. At the end of Section 7 on the animal form, it guides you to figuring out your average daily gain, feed cost per pound of gain, and value of animals. If any table does not apply to your animal project, please leave it blank. Example, rabbits probably won't use daily gain or market details. If you only have breeding beef, you won't have an auction premium. Do your best to track and include all your expenses and income within your project. The next section takes the place of the 4-H story. The project reflection section is questions for those 7 to 9-year-olds, then becomes an essay with guidance for the intermediate form, and even more of an essay for the senior form with less guidance. Your project reflection should focus on the project learning experiences in one project from the current 4-H year. However, it may include information or references from prior years when appropriate to demonstrate growth and variety. It is acceptable to include general information about other projects later in the story, only if they tie into the project featured in the record. The project reflection should not just be a repetition of what is in the project record. Include new information. Expand on the entries to tell the story of your 4-H project work. Organize your writing by including an introduction, body, and conclusion. Your introduction should capture the reader's attention. It is a way to get the reader interested in what you have to say. Journalists call it a lead. The idea is to make it fun, interesting, surprising, or informative. Let your personality shine. The body of the project reflection should focus on activities and learning in the specific project area. Expand upon entries in the record. Share your experiences, growth, frustrations, challenges, highlights, and future project plans. The conclusion ties it all together, summarizing your project reflection, including career goals and acknowledging who helped you along the way. Section 9 of the Kansas 4-H project report form is photos. In this section, insert photos that demonstrate learning, leadership, and citizenship within the project. Include captions in the spaces provided and indicate what level the activity took place. Examples of the captions include practiced archery for 20 hours at scheduled archery practice district-wide, so a D. Juniors will only have space for 6 photos, while intermediates will have space for 6 learning photos and 6 leadership and citizenship photos. And seniors will have 6 learning photos, 6 leadership photos, and 6 citizenship photos. The photos used are very important and should reflect growth, development, and involvement within the 4-H project. Use photos that show the member doing things, learning, teaching others, and having fun with their 4-H project work. I recommend that you use landscape photos most of the time, as you can see from the video that using portrait will make the photos smaller and have less details. All project report forms in the Marais District require that you also complete the Marais District Record Book Check Sheet and a personal information page. The check sheet includes a list of eligible projects that you can complete a Kansas 4-H project report form. Some projects are grouped together under one project area. For example, shooting sports, fiber arts, STEM energy management, to name a few. All of these items should be submitted in a 3-prong folder or 3-ring binder for each project. This completes what is commonly referred to as your record book. For the Marais District record book, you will need to submit a Marais District record book check sheet, the Kansas 4-H personal information page, and the Kansas 4-H project record report form in the project you are trying for a project pin. As we went over the Kansas 4-H project report form, there are several different ways you can complete this form. One is doing a form fillable PDF on your computer. A second way is to print off the forms and actually handwrite. The 4-Hers handwrite the forms. The third way is to actually go to 4-H at 4h.zsuites.org and make an account. And this is an online version, and they'll keep your information. You can print them off there. They'll actually print into PDF. You can keep all your records there as well, because they do have a place where you can actually click to say you want to put it in a report form, or maybe you don't want to put it in a report form. Either way, I am linking a Kansas 4-H video tutorial for using these books to the description of this video. It is also available on our website, which I will talk about here in a minute. They do not suggest using Internet Explorer for accessing 4hzsuites.org. And you can bookmark it on your device to connect to the web page at any time. So that way you could have it on your phone or on your tablet. And if you're at a 4-H meeting or you're doing something and you're like, oh, this actually goes with my 4-H project, let me quickly write that down. So it's just another way of keeping your records throughout of what all you've done throughout the year. All of the forms and information that we talked about in this video is available on the Marais District webpage under 4-H and then record books. I have linked this webpage in the video description. It also has links to the Kansas 4-H record book or record keeping website and many other video tutorials, as well as ones to Z Suites and the ones we are talking about today, and some ones from Kansas 4-H as well. So I would encourage all of you to go out and visit the marais.ksu.edu under 4-H and then record books to find out more information about our record book process. Some tips to remember as you complete your Kansas 4-H project report form is it does not have to be perfect. The main thing is that you are trying and learning about record keeping. Remember that every line in each section has to be filled. It is okay to leave lines blank or tables or sections blank. If you are able to have more than there is room for in a section, then prioritize and include your most important items in that section. It is important to be truthful and accurate in your records. If you have a section that you cannot fill out at all, that is okay. Just try to set goals and work towards doing something for that section in the future. Such as younger 4-H members may not have leadership roles and citizenship roles yet, but keep working towards that, and maybe in a couple years you can have that leadership role or you can have that citizenship role. Record keeping and filling out the Kansas 4-H project report form doesn't have to be hard. It just takes a little time and effort on your part. Thank you for watching the Marais District Kansas 4-H project report tutorial. Please like this video and subscribe to the Marais District YouTube channel for more videos on record keeping and many other educational videos. Click on the links in the description for more information from the Marais District 4-H. If you have any questions, contact one of the Marais District offices in Paola or Mound City. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and like.